Happy Wednesday, friends. I hope this finds you all well. Know that I still miss you, but it makes me feel so good to be able to reach you through video. Well, today I'm going to share this gorgeous, glorious alphabet book with you called Into the A, B, C. Did you know that there are wonderful animals and plants beginning with every letter from A through Z that live in the ocean? In fact, the ocean holds most of the world's animals. So this is a very exciting story to read to you. Now, the reason I've selected it today is because our letter is upper and lowercase o, which, as you know, when you form it, looks like a circle. And the sounds it makes are two. So the long O sound, of course, is ocean, and the short O sound is the one you hear at the beginning of octopus. Remember we said it's like going to the doctor and saying ah, and your mouth makes that O shape when you make the short O sound. Well, look at this gorgeous octopus in the ocean. Our art project today is also making an octopus in the ocean, but we'll talk a little bit more about him in a minute. We're going to go ahead and begin at the beginning of our alphabet, which is, of course, the letter A. Into the A, B, C. Swim the ocean waves with me and dive into the A, B, C. Does everybody see a little Nemo here? Where anemones, there's A, sting, but they don't bother the fish who use them for protection. And barnacles cling. Those tentacles pull tiny little bits and fragments of animals from the water to eat. Where crabs crawl in. Isn't that gorgeous? And dolphins spin. Now, dolphins look like fish and behave like fish, but they are not. Do you remember what dolphins are called? What animal group they belong to? Yep, they are mammals. They have a little bit of hair on them, and they're warm-blooded. That's right. Where eels explore. That's a big, long eel, isn't it? And flying fish soar. Now, they don't really fly, but they can leap so high out of the water and use their fins to propel them, and it makes it seem as if they're flying. I wonder what comes after F. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, where gray whales peep. And humpbacks leap. Now, humpbacks are whales too. Do you remember those little barnacles we saw back on the B page? Well, barnacles like to attach themselves to moving objects, like large mammals, like whales, or fish, even the bottom or holes of ships. And they cling there, and as the animal goes through the water, the barnacles grab their food. Well, whales like the humpback have to do something called breaching. And what they do is they propel themselves up partway out of the water and slap back down on top of the surface. And that's to break those barnacles free off their back, because I imagine they get a little bit itchy. So if you ever see a whale breach, that's probably what it's doing, trying to get rid of those pesky barnacles. Where insects prance, and yes, there are water bugs. There are even diving bugs that take an air bubble down into the water with them, And then when the air bubble's used up, they swim back to the top and get another one. That's why they're called divers, up and down. And jellies dance. Miss Cinda drew a jelly on her art project today. And of course, jelly is short for jellyfish. That's right. Where kelp forests sway, kelp is kind of like an underground forest. Kelp is a type of seaweed, and it has lots of vitamins and minerals and is also another protective home for certain fish. And leopard sharks prey. Now that kind of prey is not the type you might do in church. To prey means to hunt other animals. Where manatees lumber, there's another mammal of the ocean. Kind of reminds me of a hippopotamus a little bit. And narwhals slumber. Aren't those cool? With one long spiral tusk in front. They live up in the Arctic Ocean, where it's really cold. Where octopuses hide, there's our friend the octopus. And when they get afraid and want to escape, they can shoot out this blanket of ink that allows them to kind of hide behind it. It's like a curtain, and then they shoot away from their prey while their prey is left trying to see through this black curtain. I think octopuses are fascinating. Turn this one up. And penguins glide. Do you remember back in January we learned about penguins and how they're much faster in the water than they are on land? Comes after P. L-M-N-O-P-Q. Where queen angels glow. And by angels, they mean angelfish. And rays. There's a different kind of ray. Swoop low. Do you hear the rhyme in the book? Low and low. Where sea stars grab. And tiger sharks nab. They're another fierce hunter in the ocean. Look at those stripes. Now you see why they get their name. S-T-U, where umbrella mouths dine, and the viperfish shine. Friends, there are places in the ocean that are so deep that the sunlight can't reach. They're so pitch black that you and I would not be able to see. Some of the fish that live down there are able to produce their own light, sort of like a lightning bug. And they use those like the viperfish does here. See the little light on the end of his little angler pole? Like a fishing pole to attract fish to the light, and then he gobbles them up. The umbrella mouth lights up at the tail and other spots on its body. I find that fascinating. Now we're A for W. Where blue whales exhale, and that's the word for X. Now, blue whales, boys and girls, are officially the largest animals on planet Earth. They're bigger than, sometimes they can be as big as 2 or 3 school buses lined up. Where yellowfin dive, yellowfins are a kind of tuna. And zillions of zooplankton thrive. Now, zooplankton are so tiny, the only way you can see them is if they were swimming under a really powerful microscope. They're very, very tiny. Now, come and swim again with me through the wonders of the A, B, C. Now, I'm hoping you'll watch this video more than once. And the second or third time through, you can see if you can name the animals you see on the page before I do, or even come up with some of the rhyming words that explain their activity. So I hope you enjoyed this beautiful book called Into the ABC, and I hope you have a wonderful time making your own octopus in the ocean. Bye-bye for now.